it's time to go to work. You see the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock and D. So my defense all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock and D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock and D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. D, yeah, it's time to go to work. You see the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock and D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking.
Wait. What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, man. We are currently waiting for We are currently waiting for a press conference to start here in a couple minutes. Looks like they'll be coming out in a couple minutes. As soon as they do come out, we'll be airing that live. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I don't know if it's gonna be in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna just let it go. Let me just let it run until they come out. So if you guys want to watch the live first press conference live from training camp, you guys can tune in right here. What's up? No. Hold on. So I just got an update. The press conference is going to start at 11:50. So it's going to start in about 22 minutes. All right? So the press conference will be it's going to start at 11:50. So in about 20 minutes we're going to get on here. In about 20 minutes we'll have the press conference going on. What's up, y'all? I am patiently waiting, just like you guys. I'm patiently waiting for the Dallas Cowboys to come out. Well, actually, it's not going to be Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be the Dallas. It's going to. I would assume it's going to be Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, and Jason Garrett. That's who I would assume it would be. So We are waiting. We are simply waiting for them to come out so we can get the press conference started. But the my little paper that I got says it should be starting about it says it should be starting around about at 11:50. I appreciate everybody that's sharing. What are you guys' thoughts? I know a lot of y'all in y'all feelings about Zeke because you're thinking about your fandom and not his, his financial situation. And that's kind of how it works. Like, we love Emmitt Smith, but nobody cares about how much money Emmitt Smith's making. Why? Because he's not relevant. So I don't really, some fans I get it why you guys don't, why you don't really, you're more concerned about your season and not concerned about the people who are actually gonna play in it. You know what I'm saying? But we got here at Dallas Cowboys Scouting. We are very big at making sure we bring a human side to these players. We make sure that we give a human side to these players. So with knowing the human side to these players, because they're not robots, we're able to understand why they do the things they do, how they do the things they do. So the press conference will be starting here. Should be starting in about 20 minutes, and then we'll get going. We'll kind of talk about what's going on there. Actually, there's 4 microphones. So I'm actually expecting probably the whole crew going to be out there beat. You know what I'm talking about? While I'm waiting, let me see if I can fix this real quick, because this mess is irritating me, y'all. I'm sorry. This is irritating me. Got to fix this real quick. All right, let's see. Let's see, transform. What do we want to do? We want to fit the screen like that, and then we want to just pull it over the gray template. All right, there we go. I'm gonna leave it like that, just like that for right now. And then when somebody come out, we'll make it a little bit smaller so we can see everybody in the box. But I mean, what are y'all honest opinions, man? What are y'all thoughts? What do y'all think? They reported this morning that Zeke was in Dallas, which I love to hear because I would rather him be in Dallas any day than out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Kerry says, speaking of a human side, isn't it great? Hearn signed a contract with Miami. Man, you're absolutely right. I absolutely love that Hearns went to Miami. I'm happy that he went back to Florida because I know that's where his heart was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually kind of excited about I'm excited about him going back to obviously he's not a Dallas Cowboy anymore. That is what it is. But I'm excited for him, the man. Why? Because I got to know Allen Hearns a lot. I got to know Allen Hearns a lot through this past season. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually excited for him. I'm excited for him. I think it was a good pickup for him, and more importantly, man, I'm happy that he freaking went back to Florida because that's where they're from. They're really engulfed in that area out there. So I know how much it meant for him to be back in Florida. So I'm actually kind of excited. I'm actually excited for him to be back in Florida and be with a team that's gonna use him for his abilities. Now I know some of my Cowboy fans go, oh, you're not supposed to say anything good about. Yeah, I know, but I did. It's whatever. We'll live. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Kerry. I was actually happy for him. I was real happy for him. Where am I gonna put my face at? Let me see. Because I feel like as soon as I do that, it's gonna do that, and it did. All right, so there we go. That's what it's gonna look like when they finally come out here. Rich people, man. They like to come out when they want to come out. So we'll see. The sponsors down there. Appreciate everybody that's sponsored. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with West Coast. Everybody's been rocking with Boss Cowboy. I appreciate you guys for the love and the support. Remember, this is only the beginning, man. I know you guys have probably been thinking like, dang, we've been rocking with you for a minute. But guess what? This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. You know what I'm talking about? Like, training camp starts tomorrow. Them boys will start. They'll start practicing tomorrow. Next week, sometimes they'll start being in pads. It's going to come fast, man. You're going to look up. August 10th will be here. I'll be talking about I'm going to the Cowboys versus 49ers game. It's gonna come fast. Watch, it's gonna come fast. All this holdout stuff will soon be behind you very quickly. You wanna know why? Because Jerry Jones wants to win, man. Let me tell you how much Jerry Jones wants to win. Jerry Jones wants to win so bad that he gave away a first-round pick last year for a wide receiver, Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? So when you do stuff like that, that lets me know that you want to win bad and that you are just not sitting around. So just like Jerry Jones didn't sit around and let our season go to crap last year when we were 3-5, I have all faith that Jerry's not going to sit around this year and let our season go to hell without Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? That's real. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, for all y'all, you got the folks out there that's saying, oh, the Cowboys will be fine. The Cowboys can be fine. They'll be fine. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But the Cowboys are also 4-4 without Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? And then my question is this. Is this the year you want to find that out? Is this the year you want to find that out? And then the crazy question is why? Why? Why do we have to? The Cowboys have the money. Like, this isn't a situation where we're talking about the Cowboys don't have the money. We have the money. So since we have the money, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be a problem. Cowboys have the money, pay the man. It's not like you're not like you're trying to say, oh, Zeke, is he he's one of the best or he's somewhat of the best. No, bruh, this is a guy and he doesn't have injury history. So yeah, man, pay the guy what he's worth. And then also, I mean, bro, you talking about Zeke, you still gotta pay Dak and Cooper. And when I say you still gotta pay him, I'm talking to Jerry. I ain't talking about them as far as like, oh, that's why we need to not pay Zeke because no. You need to pay Zeke so you can get on to everybody else. And we have the money. We have the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell myself, like, I can't sit up here and be like, you know, instead of all y'all folks asking like, well, why don't Zeke just do this? Why don't Zeke just do that? Well, why won't Jerry just pay him? Like, why don't he just pay him? Like, he could just pay him. He could just do what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to pay him. Just pay him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want, fans, they want players to be, Zeke needs to be a man of his word. He's under contract. Okay, well, Jerry needs to be a man of his word when he releases players that are still under contract. Because I asked this person earlier today. I said, okay, if you don't feel that Zeke should be able to hold out and get more money, then if that's the case, do you feel that he should? Because basically what he said is all those people, well, Zeke still has 2 years left on his deal. He has no right to ask for a contract. Okay, so does Jerry Jones have a right to release players who are in the middle of a contract? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Like, if Zeke can't, if he can't hold out in the middle of a contract, Jerry Jones should not be able to release a player in the middle of a contract. It should go both ways. Like, it should go both ways. Like, why does a player lose all of their rights because they're like, come on, man. Kerry says he's outplayed his contract. He deserves to get paid. You're absolutely right, man. He's outplayed the contract that he's on right now. Like, the same reason why Carson Wentz, like, think about this. Don't even think about Dak and Carson Wentz. Let's just think about Dak. Let's just think about Zeke and Carson Wentz. They're both top 5 picks. Both top 5 picks. You're going to tell me that Carson Wentz deserved to get a contract? Like, come on, man. No, nobody tripped on Carson Wentz. He's in the same situation. 3 years. 3 years, but he got a deal. Oh, but Zeke can't get a deal, though. And think about this. Carson Wentz has, well, not really Carson Wentz because he stayed injured. But quarterbacks can play 10, 15 years. Name me a running back other than Adrian Peterson that has that life expectancy. So I would think that Zeke would be more inclined to his money than Carson Wentz. Like, come on, man. Like, some of the stuff that we just agree to as fans, I just be like, man, like, come on, bro. Like, I wish somebody would do you like that in your life. What's up with you, what's up with you, Curtis? He says, as a running back, he has to get his value now. Their shelf life is short nowadays. Absolutely. And some of y'all be like, oh, since running backs don't last, I love this statement. Oh, you can just find a running back anywhere. Okay, name me one. Then that same person says, Saquon Barkley. I'm like, bruh, are you kidding me? Saquon Barkley was a top 5 pick. How do you replace Zeke with Saquon Barkley? How? How do you even get the resources to get him? Then why would you even replace a Zeke with Saquon Barkley? That makes no sense. Just pay Zeke. That makes no sense. Release Zeke to then use all your assets to get to the front of the draft so you can get a Saquon Barkley. That's dumb. Just pay the guy you have. And then you got to hope that that guy's good again. You know what I'm saying? Matthew says it's cheaper to get a deal done now than next year. You're absolutely right. Because guess what? You're negotiating with a 2-time rushing leader. Imagine negotiating with a 3-time rushing leader right after we win the Super Bowl, because we win in the Super Bowl this year. BJ says they got to get these contracts fully guaranteed next CBA. I mean, you can. You can get a fully guaranteed contract. I mean, not Carson Wentz. What's that boy name? The bum who plays for Minnesota. His contract was, I think, like 90% guaranteed. That's damn near. But I mean, it's not even really about in my opinion, it's not even really about the whole guarantee or anything like that. What I think it is, it's the evaluation of the position. How you, just because you're a quarterback, you automatically get $30 million. And I'm not saying Dak, because I know that's the first thing y'all said, but I just don't think that that's fair. I don't think that by position that players should get elevated more. Like, I think it should be on your worth of the team. You know what I'm saying? Because on our team, I love Dak, but he's not the most important person on our team. We're a run first team. We're a run-based team. The running back and your guards are some of the most important players on your offense, at least. Why? Because that's who the offense is going through when you're a running team, at least. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think Zach Martin's the highest paid guard and Zeke is the best running back in the NFL? They kind of go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I believe that you should get paid by your importance of a team, not because you're a quarterback. Oh, I'm a quarterback. If that's the case, my kids are only going to play quarterback and left tackle. I'm just being real. Why would I let my kid be a D tackle? Why? He ain't beat up and not get paid. That makes no sense. That's what I don't think is fair. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't think is fair. Like in basketball, I think it should be like NBA, basketball, all 5 players, whoever, it don't matter, center, guard, whatever. If you good, you gonna get paid. I don't like this, he's a quarterback, so he has to get paid $30 million. What? Slap yourself, bruh. Courtney says, TBH, I don't know what that is. TBH, let me know what TBH means. TBH Coast, I'm not a fan of Steven, man. He's too cheap. Why hold into money, though you got it with us? Just let it share for what? Absolutely right. And think about this. The salary cap goes up every single year. So that means every single year, players have the ability to get paid more, and the management is choosing not to. Like, that's just being real. Like, the salary cap goes up every single year. That means your ability to pay the player goes up. But yet and still you see more players not getting paid. So what is happening to that money? It's sitting in their bank accounts. That's what's happening. You got a bunch of guys who want to be millionaires begging and literally threatening not to go to work so they can get paid by billionaires. Think of that complex. That's all I'm saying. Just think of it like that way. Think of it that way. You have a guys who want to be millionaires, and Zeke, yeah, he's a millionaire. But you have Zeke millionaires begging billionaires for money that they've already earned. Can I ask you guys a question? Some of you guys don't want to give Zeke because of the imaginary bad future that you're casting on him. Don't give Zeke money because running backs are easy to find, because running backs get hurt. So what you're saying is, in your mind, you have this imaginary injury that Zeke's going to have, which is going to diminish him. Why? I don't know why. Has Zeke shown that that's the type of player he is? Was he hurt in college? Was he hurt in high school? Has he been hurt in the NFL? No, he has not. And then also, think about this. The Dallas Cowboys don't even play him like that. I'm going to tell you why. He don't play it. He's only played in one preseason series in his entire career. Then, on top of that, he never plays week 17, 16, those final games of the season. Like, we didn't had 3 week 17 since he's been in the NFL. And guess what? He's only played in 1. And that was in 2017. Like, he didn't play last final game of the season. He didn't play in 2006 last game of the season. Why? Because it was a not important game. So I think the Cowboys kind of do their best of managing their players. Courtney says threatening, but yet you don't want to pay Dak. Amari, Zeke, Byron, these guys should all get paid. They can all afford to. Zeke is generational talent. He only had 2 good backs since Emmitt Smith. Think about that. Absolutely right. I ain't gonna lie. I would take Byron Jones out of there because I am not for paying Byron Jones. We can talk about that on another day, but I am not for playing Byron Jones at all. Love the guy. I would probably even vote for him, but I will not pay him $14 million. I will not. I'm sorry. I know people say, oh, but West Coast, he's the best corner in the NFL. Okay, well, then he should show that by getting his hands on some damn footballs. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't need good coverage. I need interceptions. I need turnovers. I'm sorry. Like, think about this. Think about this. Think about this thought. The Dallas Cowboys had Odell Beckham in their division, 5 years? He only went over 100 yards one time. Julio, we haven't had a wide receiver go over, I think we've had 2 wide receivers go over 100 yards in the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So our defense is not out there just giving up They're not out there just giving up mad aerial raid touchdowns anyway. Like, we've always, for the most part, had a pretty good deep DB backup. Think about this. In 2017, we let our entire DBs go. We let Brandon Carr, who was your starting right corner, walk. He went to Baltimore. We let Mo Claiborne walk. He went to New York Jets. We let Barry Church walk. He went to the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, and then we let Wilcox go. He went to Tampa Bay. He's in Pittsburgh now, and I think he just tore his ACL. Hope he get fixed. But yeah, man. We let our entire DBs go, both corners and safeties. And you know what we did? We replaced them all in the draft. All of them in the draft. The only person we didn't replace was Byron Jones, and we just moved him from safety to corner. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you $14 million for really good coverage. No, not at all. Can't do it. And then think about this. Why do I need to pay Byron Jones $14 or $12 million? And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's making 8.5 right now. And people don't ever go. If you're gonna get a contract extension, you're not gonna go from $8 million to 10. Nobody's gonna play all that hard to get a $2 million raise. Knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Zeke wants to go from 8 to 14. Dak wants to go from 700 to 30 million. Amari Cooper's going to go from 13 to 18 million. So nobody is going to, you know what I'm saying, is going to work, be an all pro to then get a $2 million raise. He's going to want at least 12 to 13 million dollars. 14, I'm saying 14 because that's what the franchise tag is going to be next year. It's going to be, for a corner, it's going to be $14 million. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. Marcus Peters has more insertions than all of them, and he hasn't even gotten a contract yet. So imagine when he gets his deal. Now, this is what I'm saying. Chris Richard makes Byron Jones irrelevant. You want to know why? Because you cannot convince me that Byron Jones would have been an all-pro corner without Chris Richard. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. And I don't even believe the Cowboys believe that. You want to know why? Because they did not extend Byron Jones until they signed Chris Richard. 2 things happened. Well, actually, 3 things happened in this order. Chris Richard gets signed to the Dallas Cowboys as a DB coach. The Dallas Cowboys extend Byron Jones to his 5th-year option. You know what happened the next day? Byron Jones is named your starting right corner, and Jordan Lewis is relegated to a backup. That's what happened. Do you guys remember who your starting corners were in 2017? It was Chidobe Awuzie and Jordan Lewis. And guess what? They didn't do that bad. And Jordan Lewis actually has better statisticals in less games than Byron Jones. That's what I'm saying. And then, let's not even think about his imaginary surgery. How you have hip surgery and now you all the way back healthy? You want to know why? Because you didn't want to get traded. Knock it off. Hey, man, we just waiting on this. We are currently waiting on the press conference. It's supposed to start at 11:50. They should be walking out of here soon. So but don't get me wrong, because I think sometimes, like, I like Byron Jones, but I'm just not paying him. I just can't pay him. I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him. Like, I'm sorry. Chris Richard what Chris Richard did in Seattle makes me believe that I don't need to pay him. Because guess what? They drafted all them guys 5th, 6th rounds, and guess what? They developed them. So I'm asking Chris Richard, why can't he do the same thing for me and save me some money? Because you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that Jalen Smith's going to probably be a $17 million linebacker. Why? Because C.J. Mosley is an $18 million linebacker. And guess what? Jalen Smith's stats kill C.J. Mosley's stats. Go look at Jalen Smith's stats and then go look at C.J. Mosley's stats for the Jets from last year. Jalen Smith is killing his stats. Killing him. And guess what? C.J. Mosley just got $18 million. Now, Jalen Smith is a restricted free agent next year, but I guarantee you there's gonna be teams that are gonna want Jalen Smith. Why? Because he's a really good kid with a great background, and he's an explosive linebacker. So guess what? He's gonna be about $18 million. And then guess what? A year after that, here comes LVE. Here comes LVE. Who is this dude? Man, get up on, get your narrow, get your narrow tail up off the stage. Yeah, Jalen Smith is better. And then think about this, you got Jalen Smith and LVE, man. LVE, you got a 5. Why? Because he was a first-round pick. You know, but I'm going to be honest with you, LVE's not going to wait till his 4th year. Why? Because nobody else is. He's not going to wait. Like, LVE's not going to wait. He's going to get extended on that 4 year, on that. He's going to get extended on his 4th year like everybody else is. So just be expecting that. So we're going to have, I mean, I'm not tripping on having two $17, $18 million linebackers because they're good. Oh, you're doing a sound check. We got old buddy right here doing a sound check, so we know we're about to be up in a minute. Let me go to this comment box. Star Beezy, what up with you, man? Star Boy in the house, man. I see you, man. Hey, we have, I'm going to be out there with Star Boy and Stash, man, starting tomorrow, man. We're going to be out there at training camp live, getting this thing popping, man. So, yeah, let me check out and see who's on YouTuber. All right, we're going to be starting in about, the press conference should be starting here now because the dude's doing the sound check. So, we should be starting here now. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's watching on YouTube. I got 10 people over there on YouTube, so I appreciate you. Oh, there we go. What up with you, Mountain? Montana 808. What's up with you, man? Dallas Cowboy fan since 1993. Punch Drunk Savage. What's up with you, man? He says the Cowboys may have already drafted Byron Jones, replacing in Michael Jackson. You're goddamn right, man. You're goddamn right. And don't even forget about Chris Weatherly. True Believer says, remember that Cole Beasley said last season when he was still with the Cowboys, the receivers were getting open, which everybody knew is the truth. Okay. What up, Montana? Hey, I just got monetized, man. So if you appreciate, hey, on YouTube, man, remember, hey, I need everybody. If you are on Facebook, you need to go to YouTube right now and you need to type in West Coast Cowboy because tomorrow when I start going live, from training camp, it's going to be on YouTube. So you need to go on YouTube right now. Get yourself ready. Go to YouTube right now and type in West Coast Cowboy. Type in West Coast Cowboy. Type in West Coast Cowboy on YouTube so that you'll be able to follow along. Let me see what we got going on over here. I need to get a charger. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm going to put y'all some music on real quick, though. What's up with you guys? Look like we got another guy doing another sound check. We should be going live here in a minute because everybody is coming out. All right, here we go.
We don't have much of a
All right.
It's all right.
Hello, and thank you all for being here. We appreciate you being here.
No, I like trying
I'd like to go over a few basic rules and procedural things that we do every year before I turn it over to Jerry and we get started. First, in terms of player interviews, they will all, again, be conducted out on the field after the walkthrough or after a practice session, and we ask that you stay off the field until the last position group huddle meeting and position group post-practice drills have been completed so that we don't get anybody run over or get injured. Just exercise a little bit of patience and wait till the last group is done doing whatever they're doing as far as an activity on the field is concerned. Please work with us in staying behind the boundary lines that are laid out on the field. And, we don't want to get anybody run over. And the official opening ceremony for the start of training camp will take place tomorrow at 2:30. And for those of you that want to cover that, that'll be prior to the start of our afternoon practice. And the last thing is we just ask that you don't try and bring any guests down onto the field or ask any of the players for autographs, which is something that we don't usually have a problem with. But that's all I have. Appreciate it. And I'd like to turn it over to Jerry Jones.
This will be our 14th year here at Oxnard, but our 40th year as an organization in California. And it seems like Rich always has scripted for me this time when I visit with you my comments about how much I appreciate your organization going to the expense of having you come out here. And because we appreciate you being here so much, there's nothing that you could want that Rich won't provide for you while you're here. Now, just to make that point, I did ask him, is there any way we could get these girls and boys some shade out here while we're having this press conference? Rich X'd it out of the budget. He said, I'm not going to spend that money on that. Maybe a little Johnny Walker Blue at our get-together, but not on the shade. But so blame it on Rich that you're sitting there burning your butt.
90% of them are staying on beachfront hotel property over in Ventura County, so they got it pretty good. They're not complaining.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't know there was any place else to sleep around here but on a beach in town. But listen, we are glad you're here. It's great to see each and every one of you. Many of you, we've been these 14 years. Some of us have been out here together this 14 years. But I am, on a personal basis, I'm particularly excited about the makeup of the team that we're bringing here to training camp. I'm particularly excited about this coaching staff that Jason has put together. We have a lot to be excited about. We've got a lot of talented players here. It's a real challenge when you've got them talented to get them all on the team under the rules that we have with our caps and things like that. So that's a challenge. But I will tell you this, as we sit here today, every player on our 80-man roster is signed. They're all signed. We've got a contract with everybody. So that's good, and that's a lot of work. And I want to thank Stephen for his work and brilliance in having everybody under contract here with us today. So
Stephen's doing the contract.
But with all kidding aside, this is an exciting time for this organization, exciting times for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get a lot of work done out here. That's why we're here. This place, California, the 40 years we've been out here, unquestionably is conducive to getting the most work done with the right kind of atmosphere. I want to particularly tell Oxnard, I want to tell this community, I want to tell the fans that really are generational here. I want to tell them how much that it makes this training camp something that not only tangibly is good for us, but it also perception-wise around the country. I like what this says about the Dallas Cowboys to be here at Oxnard in California with our training camp. So with no further ado, Rich, I think we'll throw it open to questions.
Absolutely.
And then you just ask away.
Jerry and Stephen, we'll kind of circle back on your expectations for the season a little bit, but at what point do you consider Ezekiel Elliott late, and what is your stance on his absence?
He's he is not. He's late. We have officially reported, and so he's a non-report officially, and all of the mechanisms that are in place with your collective bargaining agreements, structurally under the contract, everything is in place and addressed if you're not where you're contracted to be. So he's late. Excuse me?
Does that mean that you guys will be fining Ezekiel Elliott for not being here today?
It provides for that.
Does that mean that you guys will?
Again, it certainly provides for that, and I've not ever made it a practice of getting into the details of how we execute our agreements or how we operate within our agreements. But his agreement provides for fines, and it's certainly doable under the CBA.
Well, last time have you had conversation with him, and did he tell you he was holding out over his contract?
Again, I'm not going to get into, from my perspective, you can ask each and every one of us that here about when we've had conversations with him, but I'm not going to get into any conversation at all. We will not be making updates. It's certainly appropriate that you're asking about it here at our opening press conference, and he's not here. But the last thing we want to get into is a daily update on contracts. Everybody's under contract. It's a part of what goes on in football. Football is business. It's pro football. And so it is business, and you are where you are on every contract. Every contract we have an agreement on. Every contract we have an agreement. And so that if there's any changes in those agreements or if there's anything different, you never know what that's going to be until both parties have done it. So updates, where you are, where you stand, how close you are, all of that isn't necessary. So I do want to make the point, we will not be giving updates on any of our contractual status of our players.
Did you expect him here?
Again,
Did you expect him here?
we expect everybody that's under contract to be here at camp. They've agreed to be here.
Given your support of Ezekiel Elliott, is it fair to say, or I'll ask you, are you disappointed at all that he's not here?
Again, I'm so excited about this team, and I'm so excited about the players that we, including him, that we have under contract. And I've got excited about the work we got done in our OTAs and our mini camps. I'm so excited about how we drafted. And so not have a player if they're a holdout in camp. Yes, I understand our game. It occurs to me we may not have a player over an injury. As a matter of fact, we prepare for that, and we know you could not have a player over a suspension. We know that. We prepare for that. And so all of this is just a part of playing football professionally in the NFL.
Stephen and Jason, what are your comments about Elliott's absence?
Yeah, we expect all our players to be here. Obviously, Zeke is not here. Zeke's been a really good player for us. Over the last 3 years, very impactful guy. He had a great offseason for us. There's a business of the NFL that happens. Our focus as a coaching staff and as an organization is on the guys who are here. It's really as simple as that.
Jason, will you address the
Yeah, I
team
think
at
when
all?
you've done this as long as we've done it, I mean, none of this is, there's no surprises. We've been doing this for 30 years, and so it's a part of the game. The great news is, the organization from Will to Jason to Jerry to our scouting staff, our coach, have done a great job of assembling a lot of young players, and with that comes expectations from the players, from the agents, and it's part of it. And we're certainly going to work through it. I think Jerry's really addressed everything there is to address about Zeke, and we're just going to go to work and do what we do in terms of continuing to work to keep this team together. I just think we've had a really good young football team, and there are some challenges out there. These guys, and as they should, it's business to them as well. It's their livelihood. They work hard at what they do, and certainly respect that. But it's going to do no good to address this situation every day. Certainly, we'll be working on it behind the scenes, and we feel optimistic that when we're all said and done here, things usually work themselves out.
Stephen, on the working on it behind the scenes, have you had any discussions with his agents on a new contract?
Yes.
Jason, will you address the team about Zeke at all when you meet with them this afternoon?
Again, we're focused on what we need to do. Most of our players came in on the flight last night. Some of the players reported this morning. They did the weigh-in. They did their physicals. We did the conditioning run at 10 a.m. We'll have a 2 o'clock team meeting. We're focused on the guys who are here. Again, Zeke's been a great player. He's been a great teammate, and we respect him. But we're not going to get into the business of football. We're going to get into what we need to do each and every day to play our best and to coach our best.
Stephen, do you always focus on each individual case, or in something like this where a player has 2 years left on a contract, is there a precedent to be concerned with going forward as far as how you address this?
Did you ask
the lady
me?
right there from CBS?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll answer this way. Anytime you look at a player, that usually means you're going to look at many players, because you've got to put it in perspective of the entire available dollars to pay the team. And I'd say there are very few conversations that Stephen and I have, but what at some point in that conversation, we're not discussing player, its impact on other players relative to the cap and financial. It's almost like getting up and turning the lights on. It's such an everyday concurrence. There's no that you live with this all the time. And so that when you don't have the player on the field for whatever reason, then you would be discussing, that's why we put that in place. That's why we have that in place. What are the repercussions there? It is not alarming that you have to get up or go to bed thinking about some aspect of it when you're dealing with the numbers of contracts that you are. So that's why I don't want to seem cavalier. Zeke is an outstanding player. I don't want to seem cavalier about it, but I also don't want to be unrealistic being alarmed about it. This is what we do. This is the air we breathe. And if you flared and knee-jerked or went just because you have parts of it that need addressing, you wouldn't be a good manager and you wouldn't be functioning. So I just want to put it in perspective, notwithstanding what is important to you, that our fans have a feel for the consequences and what this is about, Zeke not being here. I want to say to you, this is business as usual.
By the way, training camp is obviously a time where we've done many contracts. Look at our offensive line. Most of that group was done during camp. This is just that time of year where, we get things done. The great news is we're all here together. The players are here. The agents work for the players. And, Jerry's here and I'm here and Jason's here. Will's here. It's a great time to, have discussion. And, our goal has been all along, in addition to DeMarcus Lawrence, was to work on the 3 contracts that we've been talking about. So this shouldn't be any surprise, obviously, with one of them not being here. Wasn't necessarily expected, but, we'll move forward and work on it, and optimistic that we can make all this come together. As I said, it usually works out. We'll see if that's the case this year.
Wait to training camp to get some of these deals done, Stephen?
I think at the end of the day, you have to, but, and we didn't wait on DeMarcus Lawrence, but you have to have 2 people to make a deal. I mean, you can't push one side forward. And some people want to see some of these contracts play out, and it's just part of it. They want to see what happens to the overall receiver market. They want to see what happens to the quarterback market. And, some representatives want to move faster than others, and some want to wait and, be sure before they pull the trigger how they're going to advise their client. And then, at some point you have players who are ready to move forward and they have enough information and they feel good about it and we feel good about it and we get it done. But, it just so happens I do think most people want all this to be done before the season starts. I think that's a natural deadline, and I think that's why you're seeing some deals get done right now. I think you'll see more deals get done over the coming weeks, and it's just a natural inertia there that goes on in terms of the urgency to get these things done.
They said,
do you consider this a distraction?
No, I think it's. I think our guys are professionals. I think our coaching staff, as Jerry said, led by Jason, do a great job of keeping the focus on the players that are here, and hats off to the guys who are obviously got their mind a little bit on their business off the field. But I think they're pros, and they're going to go out there and get their jobs done. And I think this is just part of what we're involved in the NFL. Over time, it used to be rookies, and then it used to be, before you had holdouts, be players without contracts, but they couldn't go anywhere else but the team they were on back before free agency. So, these things have evolved over time. As Jerry said, we've been doing this for 30 years, and nothing comes as a surprise. And we certainly feel prepared to address it and to handle it in a good way. I know Jason feels good about it, and we're just going to go to work and see what we can get done here.
Same lines. I understand the thought process of moving forward with the guys you have.
Hey, I appreciate everybody watching. I got 90 people watching on here, but I only got 52 shares, so that means some of y'all snuck in the back door. Pay the bill, and let's get a share so we can keep this thing going.
Is that anytime a player isn't available for whatever reason, it's a business situation, it's an injury, it's a great opportunity for somebody else to show what they can do. And we've had great examples through the years of guys emerge in situations and they get more reps and they grow as a player and we grow as a team. And I think if you look at our team last year, we grew a lot. We had a really young football team. I think arguably the youngest in the NFL at the start of the year. And you saw that team grow over time by just getting snaps and playing. And guys who had never played before, they grew week after week after week. So we always view this as an opportunity. When someone's not there, step up, next man up, let's see what you got. And it's a great opportunity for us as coaches to evaluate that player, see if he can hold up, see if we need to go get somebody else. It's a great opportunity for the player to prove himself.
Make sure you share. Hit that share button.
Value of the running back position and where you guys see
Absolutely. I think everything's involved in a negotiation, whether it's the value of a position, whether it's a player's age, whether it's his health, whatever it may be. It's a full body of work at the end of the day, and you put all that together. Jerry said it. We're talking about these things all the time and talking about what their longevity is, how long do we think they can play, whether it's any position on this football team. So all the things go into the mix when you're trying to not only put together a team for this year, but long term. We have to look at that in terms of, what the salary cap is this year, what's it going to be next year, what's it going to be in the future, and, what's our team going to look like as we move forward. It's certainly not where you want your coaches focused right now. We want them focused on trying to win a championship this year. But certainly it's something that we have to do, in personnel and cap in terms of looking at the future. But all that comes into play and certainly a part of it.
He's missed time in the past, and he's one of those rare players that doesn't show much of a drop-off, even having missed practice or playing time. But given that you guys have this new offense with Kellen Moore and John Kitna, is it important that you guys get him here sooner rather than later, given that you're installing sort of this new system?
Jason?
Yeah, Zeke had a great offseason. So much of what we'll do at training camp we introduced in the offseason. He's one of the smartest players we have. He's just got an unbelievable football IQ, so we don't anticipate any learning issues for him, once he gets back in the fold.
So, you guys, I need everybody to take a break. Zeke is coming back. It's just a matter of when.
In terms of a sense of urgency?
For me, no. But if you ask Amari, you ask his representatives, you'd have to ask them if that's important to them. I think obviously, some guys do want to see the full market play out before they make a decision. Could that be one of the reasons that they're, not necessarily a lot of urgency to get the deal done yet? It very well could be. But for me, no. We could do the deal tomorrow, and we'd feel comfortable doing something. But you'd have to ask Amari and his agents how much, that's playing into their timing.
Any doubt to you guys he's going to be a long-term Cowboy?
Amari? Oh, I think we'll get something done with Amari for sure.
Frustrate you a little bit knowing that you want to get a deal done, but the other side is waiting on somebody else to get a deal done when you know, hey, we're ready to get this going.
And what was the first part of that question?
Does it frustrate you in any ways?
No, I think all these things work themselves out.
Dumb question.
Certainly, you'd like to have everything all in a nice, neat package wrapped up in a nice, neat bow and be done with it. But that's just part of it. As we said, it's like player acquisition. It's 365 days a year. The business of pro football is the same thing. And certainly, just because we're, at some point, if we get done with these three players, then I can promise you the focus is going to go on to other great young football players we have on this football team. And I'm sure, they're sitting in their room thinking about when's my time going to come. And certainly they deserve to have those thoughts. So, this is just ongoing. And it's certainly not anything that's frustrating to us. We just know we have to be patient and we have to do things the right way. I mean, we just can't overstep here because it's just been a lot of work has gone into really putting this young team together. And if you go out and you're not efficient in how you go about it, and it's certainly, one thing I do agree with, DeMarcus Lawrence told me point blank, it's not my problem, and the rest of the guys. And he's right, but it is my problem. It is Jerry's problem. It is Jason's problem. It is Will's problem. And so we have to factor that in. And certainly I don't expect Dak to be laying awake at night worrying about the cap. Neither do I Amari, nor Zeke, nor any of our other players. That's our job. But it still factors into it.
Where are all the negotiations on Dak Prescott's contract, and do you see that as the first step in business at training camp?
No, I think, unfortunately, that's just not something we can answer. Contracts get done when they get done. For me to characterize as we're a week out or 2 weeks out or a day out's irresponsible. I mean, those things are just, they have their own life. That's why we're going to address this today, and then we're going to be done with it, because until one's done, it's not done. And it's not going to do any good for us to say, well, we talked for an hour yesterday, or we hadn't talked in 2 weeks, or I don't think any of that's productive. And said, here we are, first day of camp. We're going to address this right now, and then we're going to be done with it until these contracts get done.
How would you describe your goals on that deal?
On which one?
On Dak's deal. What are your goals with that deal?
Oh, I just, you'd love to get a deal done that he's happy with, that the team can work with, to surround him with great players on offense and to have a great defense and special teams. If we can get all that done, then we've done well. And, who's to say exactly what that number is today, or the length, or what plays into that, but that would be the goal.
At the same time, Carson Wentz's deal affect Dak? Them getting it done, did that impact at all?
I think all these things impact each other. There's no question. I mean, they were drafted in the same class, the same age. They've had success, both of them. And, certainly when deals get done at those levels, then, they affect one another. So it's just part of our business.
Where it doesn't, I'm going to add something here. Where it doesn't affect what somebody else do, another team does, at a player, at a position, that's good reading. That's good reading. And I understand for those individuals involved how they compare to that. But the Dallas Cowboys have a litany of contracts. And those contracts have been made predicated on the terms of other contracts, not in New Orleans or not in Cleveland, but based on the Dallas Cowboys. And so we have arduously spent money, time, planning relative to the relationship of those contracts together. Just because somebody in their contractual situation decides that they want to do different than their contract, just because that doesn't mean that you tear up everything that you've got over here with the team, even though somebody else may have done something different with another team. What rules the day is your list, and what rules the day are your economics. That rules the day. Now, that's real. And so that's what you're sitting there protecting, is the integrity of how all of that works together. And that's why that if everybody at one time said, you know something, let's just all go up and see Jerry, and he's got all this money, and let's get all that money. Let's go do this at the same time. I'm just saying that's not the way it works. That's the way it works. I don't have as much money as this group right here got your heads together would want. If you could just put it down, I promise you that. But seriously.
Thank you, Clarence.
And that's what you're looking at. And so you
Clarence
say,
said you ain't got that money?
Where are you with other players that are involved here? We've got a good idea, and brother, we are pretty good at it, of where you're going to be projecting down the way. One thing we know how to do is figure. We can figure, and we can anticipate what the cap's going to be and what the revenues are going to be and what's going to be available. Now, we can do that. You could do it if you had all the information to get her done as well. Well, just because it's different, just because there's a time like come to camp when you want to do it differently, it's still got to conform. Or we can't do that and have the team that we have. The other thing I'd like to add is that one of the best things about coaches, one of their best redeeming qualities of their entire profession, is they really do have to believe in next man up. They have to believe in that, because they coach a game, especially football, that has attrition. And they coach a game that has attrition in talent, and it has attrition with energy, and it has attrition with all kinds of, these are human beings. They have all kinds of personal things. Pro football has its litany of those things to go. But these guys don't have a breakdown and go in some kind of mental asylum when the guy that they thought was going to be there is not there. They're not built like that. And so they do go on, and they mean it. And they really do mean it. And that's the way they get up and go to bed. And so having said that, we've got the right game to have a disciplined, but to have a plan of how to put the team on the field with all this young talent. And we've just got to make sure that these contracts you're talking about fit that plan.
What do you need to see from Jason and to bring him back in 2020?
Damn, you just gonna ask him that?
What did you say? I really didn't hear.
Jerry said, what the hell?
You need to see from Jason to bring him back in 2020.
Good question.
I really didn't hear you.
Exactly. I don't want to say I know Jerry ain't about to answer that.
Next question.
I knew he wasn't about to answer that.
On the note of next players up, one position you needed that last year was at center. How heartening is it to see where Travis Frederick is, and what are y'all's expectations for him at training camp?
Well, I'm certainly excited about the way he feels about where he is. We're certainly in really elementary medical area. You're not talking to a person to give you an assessment there as far as how he is medically. But I will tell you this, sitting here this time last year, I had no idea what we were facing regarding Frederick. None of us did. And I would hope that that was as isolated as the very syndrome that he has is rare. And so I'm basing my personal thinking, hope, want tos, that he's going to be able to come out here and be right where we were this time last year, thinking he's going to have a heck of a year. And everything I'm hearing supports that.
Steve was talking earlier about you work to try to put a championship team together to win that. This team has won the division and advanced to the second round twice in the last 3 years. Young nucleus, both sides of the ball. Is it realistic to expect in your mind that you take a step forward this season, that the base has been built and you need to get further? Or how do you view overall this season?
I expect us to be a better team. And think that our personnel supports that. The experience gained, as Jason mentioned earlier, supports that. I am real impressed with the staff that Jason has put together here. So I expect us to be better, and as a part of that should result in maybe advancing our record, or if you will, our place in the playoff. It should result in that. That's the assumption you make, that if you're a better team and you've put together a sound one, they can stay healthy, then you should be able to do better than you did last year. And you did ask a question, and that's right. And all of that is what I would call success. There's no secret that the guy to my right here, I want to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for as long as I'm around to spell them. That would be my goal. And that's no secret, and many of you have written about it in various ways. So let's see what's ahead.
What would it take for that to be the goal, Jerry?
Again, I'm not going to get succinct because I really can't tell you that I know about what feeling good about this team is. I've had some times when you didn't feel good about the team that I felt good about the team. And so, that's the eye of the beholder there as well, and that will be ultimately how it's decided.
Jason, y'all did physicals this morning. What does your PUP look like heading into the first practice?
Yeah, Byron Jones will be on PUP, DeMarcus Lawrence on PUP, Tyrone Crawford, and Noah Brown. Those guys will start on that, and each of them has a different timetable for coming back, but suffice it to say, they'll just keep working, and we'll do everything we can to get them back into it.
Two-part question, Jason. Who were the off-season conditioning winners, and who are we going to be dodging in the parking lot around the golf carts?
That has not been determined yet, and there's a tremendous amount of anticipation for that. It typically happens here the first 48 hours in training camp, and the guys who think they are contenders are excited about the possibility of having that golf cart. So you'll be the first to know after our team does.
Jason, if this team doesn't have Zeke, what changes offensively for you guys?
Yeah, again, you go to work. We have two good young running backs who we drafted. We're excited to see. We have a couple veteran guys who haven't played that much who we're excited to see, and we'll just give those guys opportunities. Obviously, Zeke has been a really impactful player for us. We certainly want him here. But I really do believe this. The next man up philosophy really just helps you. It helps the individual player, and it helps the team grow and get better. So we'll try to take advantage of this time. If any of our players are out with injury or otherwise, to help give other guys an opportunity. I think ultimately we'll grow as a team as a result.
Anticipation of a full season from Cooper this year.
We're excited about Amari. Been around football a long time. I thought what he did last year in transitioning to a new team in the middle of the season, the production he had, I thought was remarkable. And I think it goes to the kind of guy he is. He loves football, works very hard at it. He's a very smart guy, really high football IQ, and he's just a damn good player. He's talented, and he can do a lot of different things, and he wants to be great. He wants to work hard. And, if you think about a guy showing up in the middle of the season, then the rapport that he and Dak developed in really a short period of time and the productivity he had for us, it was really off the charts. Made a huge impact on our team. For those guys to get a chance to work in the offseason, now work here in training camp, we're just really excited about that possibility for those guys to grow together.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this book.
Had a good visit with him, and I would hope, I want to be guarded in my comments here because Randy is suspended, but I do feel that he's doing the things and it's getting recognized by the decision makers that he's doing things to really improve and be a productive player in the NFL. And I think that will not go unnoticed and could have it happen for him. I last year thought that Randy, that we all made about a C+ there with Randy. And that just, I say that because if we could get this thing right with him, get him right with the rules, get him right with the league, all of that, then he's got a bright future. And he's as hard as he's working, as conscientious as he is, I think he's got a chance to come in and make a big contribution for us.
Officially apply for reinstatement, and when, if not, when would you expect that to happen?
I don't know that as to when it will be, but I think that he will apply for reinstatement. And but as in medicine, everybody's case is very unique. I think that that's being recognized in Randy's case, and that's a step forward, not just by Randy, but by the people that are caring or evaluating him. And we've seen enough out of him as a person and as a ball player to want him on the Dallas Cowboys for us into the future.
There are so many people on this team, from coaches to players, that have just wrapped their arms around Randy Gregory and have supported him through all this. Specifically, what is it about him that's led to you giving such public support of him, both privately
His
and
ability
publicly?
to sack the quarterback.
Randy is particularly impressive with his intellect and his people skills. And that combination, apart from him being a great athlete, but that combination of people skills and just his ability to use them is very good. I think that can help him be a better anything that he wants to be. Anything, including a pressure player on defense in the NFL. And so that comes across. When you're around him, it comes across from every discipline that touches him. They come away and say, now that guy's got some special aspects to it. So that to me, that's worth spending some time and investing some of your what you're about as a franchise, the Cowboys, me individually. That's worth investing in.
As a former quarterback and the head coach, can you give me your opinion of where Dak Prescott's come from, his leadership skills from when he was here, fighting with Jamil Showers as a backup, to now being the guy that's leading a team to 2 NFC championships?
Yeah, I just think Dak is off to a remarkable start in his career. I think his 3-year win total coming out of college ranks up there with among the best in NFL history. And, you talk about leadership, that's probably line one with Dak, just the kind of guy he is, the kind of leader he is. And if you reflect back to his rookie year in 2016, Tony Romo's our quarterback, an outstanding player for us. Dak was brought in here to compete as a backup player and possibly be someone who could be the future of our franchise. And the way he stepped in that year under those circumstances and led our football team, to me, was remarkable. I don't think that's happened very much in the history of the NFL, the kind of performance he had and the impact he had on the team. And I would attribute a lot of that to his ability. He's a damn good football player, but I think a lot of it has to do with the leadership that he has and how he can connect with people and how he can get people around him to play for him, and they want to play for him. And I think he's gotten better and better each year that he's played for us. It hasn't always gone smoothly for him. He's had some real successes. He had some adversities, but I think it goes back to what he's all about. He responds the right way to every situation. He's played big in every big moment. He's played big in big games. He's always played his best at the critical moments, and that's just what he's all about. And I think if you reflect back on his career at Mississippi State and before that, that's what he's been about all his life. We're lucky to have him.
Jerry, any comment on how the NFL handled the Tyreek Hill situation in light of Zeke's situation in the past?
They're not going to say nothing on that.
I'll start. I don't have one.
No comment.
Thank you very much.
yo, man, that was the Dallas Cowboys live press conference brought to you by Dallas Cowboys, and it was brought to you by Cowboys Experience and everybody who supports the West Coast Cowboy. I just want to appreciate you guys for tuning in. But, yo, make sure I'm going to tell you guys, we learned a bunch of nothing. It was a good conversation. Shout out to that one, my boy Clarence was holding it down. He asked some pretty good questions. But the rest of them dudes, man, they weren't asking no good questions, man. Like, they was asking a bunch of questions that Jerry Jones could give a bunch of that's Jerry Jones. Like, man, get this dude a question he can answer, like some legitimate thoughts, like everything, you know what I'm talking about? But I get it. You're in the major media, so you can't ask them real good questions. But as always, they don't really provide too much information. Why? Because they can only provide so much. We did learn some stuff about Randy Gregory. He talked to Randy Gregory yesterday. The question that they asked was, do you feel Randy Gregory is going to be a guy that's going to be able to contribute this year? And from everything I sound from Jerry Jones, I think Jerry Jones feels that he's going to be able to contribute this year. He was very coy about speaking as what he's going to be able to do. Why? Because he said legally there's just some stuff he can't talk about right now with Randy Gregory. So I definitely respect him on that question. Robbie says that's a fair point, but at the same time, it's a lot easier to plug a capable running back and compare a piece of a line. Yes, bro, but that's not like, y'all stop with this. You can replace the running back. Like, if the next time I hear someone say that, I'm going to flat out tell you don't know your team. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line gave up 56 sacks last year. That is the second worst in the NFL. We do not have the same offensive line from 2014, 2016. So, since you do not have the same offensive line, where do you think you're going to just get some regular running back? And then, do me a favor. Whenever you discredit Zeke and say you can just find any serviceable running back, stop saying serviceable running back and say the guy's name. What running back are you talking about? Like, I think you guys think there's this some imaginary Walmart down the street, and on aisle 11, you can go down there between aisle 21 and 22, you'll find you a good running back. You can just grab one off the line. Like, this is not a kicker. This is not a kicker. We are not a passing team. We are a run-first team. Ezekiel Elliott accounted for 1,400 yards last year and 600 yards receiving. That is 2,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. 6 on the ground, 3 in the air. Where are you going to find this imaginary running back by tomorrow? Knock it off. Like, knock it off, like, for real. And this is what I'm telling you. If you think you can replace, everybody has these great examples. Name me one. Make me feel better. That's what I want you to do. Make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I pride myself on knowing this team pretty well. Make me feel better. What running back are you talking about? Because everybody says, oh, you can find a serviceable running back. Which one? Which one are you talking about? Tell me. Tell me. I want to know. Give me a name. Don't just give me just some, oh, you can just give me a name. Tell me. That's what I thought. There you go. And I know, Robbie, I'm going to say your name, Robbie, because you're new. Because I know you're new in this group because you don't have a top fan and you don't have a scout tab. So what that means is you're new. So he's calling me a hothead. I'm not tripping because that just lets me know you're new. In about a week, you'll be calling me West Coast like everybody else do. It's cool. You're just new here. But whenever people put comments in the comment box and they just assume, we try to narrow it down to exact answers. So I want to know what running back are you talking about? What running back are you talking about? We are a team that runs 57% of the time. What running back on our team or in the NFL available now are you going to be able to put and we're going to be capable? I want to know. Because the 3 running backs that we have right now, none of them have played in a real, actual NFL game. None of them. Darius Jackson has never played in a regular season NFL game. Tony Pollard, love him. Never played in the NFL. Mike Weber, love him. Never played in the NFL. I need to know, who are you? What are you? And then I'm going to be honest with you, all this, hey, it's the next man up. It's the coach got to understand, it's the next man up. Okay, well, guess what? Didn't Tyron Smith get hurt against Atlanta? No, it wasn't Tyron Smith. It was who did Chaz Green replace against Atlanta? Because Chaz Green was not the starter in that game, right? He wasn't. So you're saying when Tyron Smith got hurt against Atlanta, Chaz Green came up, he was the next man up? Yes, he was. And what happened? 7 sacks. That's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. You guys remember in 2015 when Tony Romo went down? Who was the next man up? 4 different quarterbacks? Oh yeah, I remember. Okay. I remember. Like, next man up, it sounds good, but it only sounds good to the next man. Like, it only sounds good to that actual person. Because if he was the next man up, he would be up. Like, he would be up. Like, I think some people say the next man up so that they can feel confident. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. The Dallas Cowboys do have another running back on their team. They do. They absolutely do. But how far is the delta between Zeke and those guys? Like, I love my team, but I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of reality on my team so that I can know that I'm honestly being honest with myself. All right, let's see what we talking about in this comment. Anthony Spicer, what up with you, man? He says, I'm with you on this. He says, Shane, so is Zeke holding out and Jerry basically said we're not paying him? That's not what he said. He said Zeke is paying. He did say that Zeke was holding out, but if you heard Jason Garrett said upon his arrival, so it doesn't sound like Zeke is going to be like not playing with the Dallas Cowboys. It sounds like they kind of already probably got the money together. It's just a matter of them fine-niting the last little nuances. But somebody told me Zeke was supposed to be in another country. I just got a picture of him sitting in Frisco, Texas. That's only 4 hours from Dallas. So, you know, I know 40 grand is a whole lot of money to us, but in the NFL scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. He'll get all that back on a signing bonus. All of that. Let's see. Kerry says, what up, Kerry? He says, can't believe the offensive line coach didn't give Green any help. Crazy. That's true. He was the next man up, though. Let's see what Robbie's asking me to read his comments. He says he's on the team. Let's see what he's talking about. He says let's see what he's talking about. He says that's a fair point, but at the same time, it's a lot easier to plug a capable running back into a piece of line. Fair point, but I think it's a little different. They would never be Zeke fact, but could they contribute more so than a Chaz Green? You don't know. You don't know. Our offensive line was, by statistic, the second worst offensive line in the NFL last year. We gave up 56 sacks last year. Let me tell you who was number 2. Who's number 1? The Houston Texans. They gave up 63. We gave up 56. So you have Travis Fredericks coming back, who has not played in a year. Remember that, because I also think that a lot of you guys are just under the assumption that Travis Frederick, after not playing in a year, is going to come back and be an all-pro best center in the NFL, because that's what he was when he left. Travis Frederick was not just any center. We have never just played with Travis Frederick as just any center. Travis Frederick has been the best center in the NFL since he's been in the NFL. So you also got to look at that as a factor. So there's going to be some changes. I know, and I get it, man. Being as a fan, you just assume if they're healthy, they're on the field, they're 100%. But that's not really how it works. Like, think about this. Travis Frederick didn't even know he was hurt until Antoine Wood stood him up. And that was a week after training. That was a week before the 49er game. He didn't even know he was sick. Travis Frederick did not know he did not get diagnosis until after the San Francisco 49er game. So what I'm saying is, I love the fact that they're telling me Travis Frederick is healthy and he's going to be healthy. But you know what? I got to see it with my own eyes. Got to see it with my own eyes. That's just real. All right. Answer Spirit says, I believe we waiting too late. He says, I believe we waited too late to start making these negotiations. I don't think they waited, and I don't think they actually waited, bro. I don't think they waited. I don't think they're waiting. I don't think they're waiting. I think Stephen Jones is right in that aspect when he says it takes two guys to make a deal. Like, they can want to make a deal today. You know what I'm saying? But if the player's not wanting to sign it, then it's not a deal. You need two people to sign it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you need the player, you need the owner to write it and the player to sign it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're waiting. I just think that negotiations happen. And you also got to think like this. I'm pretty sure Zeke was not going to sign a contract until after Le'Veon Bell got signed. You know what I'm saying? And Amari Cooper, we know for a fact that he's not signing until Michael Thomas or Julio Jones get signed. The only person I don't get hasn't gotten a contract is Dak. I'm going to be honest with you, because Dak is not really waiting on anything. There's no other quarterback that's about to get signed except for Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? If Tom Brady will probably sign another 2-year contract in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, the only person that's I don't really understand is probably Dak, because I don't get what he's waiting on. Carson Wentz already got signed. Nick Foles already got signed. There's no other quarterback to get signed. So I don't get why they're waiting on Dak. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue what they're waiting on with Dak. Maybe it is a number thing with him, but as far as players enumerating, I don't know what they're waiting for on Dak. Zeke, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I knew Zeke's was going to be a little bit hard too. Why? Because he's trying to get a 3-year extension before 2. But guess what? You guys act like these 3-year extensions are like something new. Nobody was telling Carson Wentz he had to. Nobody told Philadelphia, why are you extending Carson Wentz? He still has 2 years on his deal. You want to know why? Because they know he's the best player on their team, and it's cheaper to sign them now. That's why. Like, nobody got, like, Carson Wentz did the exact same thing Zeke is doing. The only difference is Carson Wentz didn't have to hold out. That's the only difference. They just gave him the money. You know what I'm saying? So Carson Wentz did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get why it's so much different for Zeke. What's up with you, Richard? Hey, Richard, I appreciate you, bro. You always in my inbox sending me great information, so I appreciate you, big dog. Robbie says, did Joe Looney contribute? Yes, he contributed. He did. I like him. And to be honest with you, I think that Joe Looney should be starting center until Travis Frederick showed me that he's 100. Like, I don't care. I love names, but I don't really care about names. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big dude on names. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dude on production. If Travis Fredericks is Travis Fredericks, absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody on the face of the earth I would start in front of him. But if he's not, let Joe Looney continue to play. Hey, I already sent you the link, brother. All right, well, let me hit you back because I'm live. All right, sorry about that. All right, so let me get back. Let me get on this comment box real quick. All right, Jordy says Dak is very confident, dude. He knows. He is confident, but there's just some stuff you don't do. Like, you are a franchise quarterback that's about to make $700,000. What if you're walking on the field, trip and fall, and tear your ACL? Like, what are you talking about? Players have done that. Orlando Standrick was walking under a drill and tripped and tore his ACL. So I don't get that. Like, Dak, what more do you need to prove? You've already won a division twice, took him to the second round of the playoffs. What are they waiting on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Michael, what up with you, Mike Sanchez, man? That's my boy over there from Dallas Cowboy Football News. What's up with you, man? He says Wentz contract don't start until after the 5th-year option. You're absolutely right, but it's still a contract. That's called an extension. Yeah, and that's what they're going to do with Zeke. Like, that's what they're going to do with Zeke. They're going to sign Zeke to a 4-year deal, and they've already got him under contract for 2. So he's going to play this year, he's going to play next year, the 5th-year option, and then he'll start his new money in 2 years. So it's going to be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Either way, Carson Wentz got an extension in his 3rd year of play. He says, I think Dak is getting signed before actually stepping on the field. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all, I actually think Dak's going to get signed either today or first thing in the morning. Because what are you waiting? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Like, they have the money to sign you. Like, they have the money to sign you. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, Dak. This is not one of those times I want to be, all nice, passive Dak. No, I want that fourth quarter Dak yelling, walking around like this Dak. Go get your money, boy. Because after they pay you, I'm going to hold you to that. I don't mind them paying Dak. As long as he played like a $30 million quarterback, I have no problem with it. No problem at all. I have no problem paying people what they're worth. No problem. As long as you play like it. And I believe as long as Dak is the same quarterback from weeks 8 to that Rams game, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be totally fine. Mike says that's exactly what they will do with Zeke. You're absolutely right. Appreciate you, Mike Sanchez, for agreeing with me, brother. You are out here, so make sure you call me, man. I'll be at training camp tomorrow. Let's link up. Let's do a show like all times. You gotta remember, man, my boy Mike Sanchez was the very, 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 very first person I ever did shows with. We literally found each other on social media and just started talking, man. We used to do them late night shows all night. I miss those. I miss you, man. I love you, brother. Man, I know you out here, so enjoy your time with your family. I'll be there tomorrow, though. Hit me. I will be there tomorrow. Camp starts at 2:30 tomorrow, too. Michael says, okay, that's a great. So they should just sign Zeke already since it will start after his rookie option. Yeah. He says, I'll be there Sunday and Monday. What? Why you ain't coming tomorrow? Why you ain't coming tomorrow? Let me know. Joe Trentino says everyone that is saying Zeke can be replaced. Remember who replaced Murray and what happened? Exactly. But folks they only look, like, it's funny. People only look at their history when it's something positive. Like, remember when we traded Herschel Walker and we got this guy and then we got that guy and then we got Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith. We can do the same thing. But y'all don't remember how the Dallas Cowboys didn't play Zeke and we went 4-4 the last 3 years, huh? Y'all don't remember that, huh? You don't remember that, okay. You don't remember that, huh? Y'all don't remember how we did running back by committee when y'all said don't sign DeMarco Murray. Remember y'all said that? Don't sign DeMarco Murray. Don't sign him. He's not worth it. 1,800 yards. He's not worth it. We don't need DeMarco Murray. Man, we have Darren McFadden. And shout out to Darren McFadden, man, because he showed me a lot of love, too. We got Darren McFadden. Guess what? Darren McFadden got 1,080 yards, and we won 4 games. Wide receiver by committee, what happened? 3-8. Quarterback by committee, what happened? 4-12. Running back by committee, what happened? 4-12. Shall I go on? Shall I go on? Hey, remember what happened? Didn't we have Felix Jones and Julius Jones? What was our record? Running back by committee, drafted both of them. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work. Nope. Didn't work. We had Marion Barber and another guy. I miss Marion Barber. I can't say nothing bad about Marion Barber. That was my dude. Yep, didn't work. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, man, it didn't work. It didn't work. Robbie says, and we were 2-5 in rushing that year. Share all facts. We did. And what was the record? What was the record? Hey, Robbie, what was the record that year? Because I'm curious. Like, I'm curious. What was the record that year? I love new people to my show because they I think they really be thinking I'd be taking all this serious. It's all good, Robbie. You be back. Terrell Alfonso said, don't forget about tight end by committee. Oh, yeah, let's look about tight end by committee. How did that work last year? How did that work? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a team sport. Like, I think some of you guys just want to prove your point with Zeke. Okay. Like, okay, let's think of all the running backs who didn't play this year who got replaced. Okay, Le'Veon Bell didn't. Oh, use Le'Veon Bell. Did this team make the playoffs? Did the running back who replaced Le'Veon Bell, did that very team make the playoffs? Hold on, let me put it. Hold up. No. They didn't? Okay. I just want to make sure. Hey, didn't the Denver Broncos do that too? Hey. Did the Denver Broncos make the playoff? Huh? No? Huh? They did? Oh, yeah? They didn't make the playoff? Okay, they didn't make the playoff. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was just making sure. I was just making sure. I was just making sure. Because like I said, whenever people look at history, they only look at the positive stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like when people do the what ifs. But what if we don't sign Zeke? And what if Tony P and Mike Weber go out there and ball? What if that happens? What if, West Coast? What if? Okay, what if Jerry Jones does what he said he was going to do and pay Zeke? And what if Zeke just does what he already does? Like, what if we pay Zeke and he's just the same player? What if that happens? So you're going to tell me we're going to pay him and he's going to just be the same guy? Like, think about this. You're hoping that Tony P and Mike Weber are someone that they're not. because you don't even know who they are because they've never played in the NFL. I'm telling you, I just want Zeke to be himself. That's it. Like, can I ask you a question? What's harder, to be somebody else? Because if Mike Weber and Tony Pollard become our starting running backs, they're going to want them to be like Zeke. You want to know why? Because we're a running team. We're a running team. So guess what? All those 300 carries, they're going to still be toting those. So now you want two rookies to be something that they're not. But you don't want Zeke to just be himself. Like, you don't want Zeke to just be himself. Like, I can't just pay Zeke and just like, hey Zeke, go do you. If we don't pay Zeke, we're gonna have to bring Tony in, and we're gonna have to bring Mike Weber in, Darius Jackson, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Actually, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. I don't even want to fake the front. If Zeke does not play in 2018, neither Tony, Darius, or Mike Weber will be your starting running back this year. Neither one of them. They're not. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. If Zeke doesn't play this year, and he will, but if he did, I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to trade for a running back. Or they're going to go out in free agency and try to get something. They're not going to trust him. I'm going to tell you why. Because they didn't even do that with a quarterback. We didn't do that. When the quarterback went out, we went through our backups, and then what happened? All our backups were veterans, though. They went out into the free market in 2015 and tried to sign Nick Foles. You know what he said? Nah, bruh, that's not enough money. That's what he said. And he went back to the Eagles. So that's what the Cowboys are going to do. So if you want to know who our starting running back is going to be, it's probably going to be one of them free agent running backs that's out there, like C.J. Anderson or somebody. I don't know. And then I want to ask you guys a question. If we don't have Zeke, do you guys still think, because Zeke he ran against 34% of the time stacked boxes. That's 8 to 9 men in the box. Do you guys think that now that if Zeke's not on the field, that a team's still not going to stack the box? You think they're going to be like, oh, we don't have to stack the box. Why? Because Zeke's not there. No, what's going to happen is they're going to still stack the box, and we're just not going to get yards. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I mean, that's just real. Like it's okay to be real and honest. It's okay. Like, what's not good is to sit up here and be like, next man up. We don't. Hey, Zeke better stop. He better stop playing around with all this off seat. Man, stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. Be realistic. Like, come on, y'all. All right, let me go through this comment box one last time, and I'm about to get up out here. Let me see. We say Anthony says talk to me about Witten. Honestly, I don't know what the hell Witten about to do. We won't see at training camp though. I mean, all y'all folks that be saying, oh, we're doing the youth movement. Every time I say, like, hey, well, are we going to get this player? No, he's too old. But then as soon as Jason Witten came back, y'all jumped through the roof, though. Jason Witten's older than every player that I suggested the Cowboys bring in. Know that. There has been one player that I put on my page that I say the Cowboys, I would like them to sign in free agency, that's not younger than Jason Witten. So I don't want to hear it. And he ain't even played in a year, so I don't want to hear it. The Cowboys do the youth movement with the players they want. Not with everybody. I'm going to read a couple more of these things and I'm out of here. Are you going live tonight? I will. Much look like you be going live tonight. I have my boy Boss Cowboy on here. He tried to hit me right now. I sent him the link, trying to get him on, but I guess he was in a barbershop. Robbie says, Anthony says, Robbie, I would be with you if you had valid points. Hey man, y'all be nice to Robbie. That's the homie. Michael says, I got to watch more of your live videos, but I don't know when you normally go live. I go live twice a day, basically at 10 a.m. California time, 4:30 California time. And then also, you just turn your notifications on. Through training camp, I'm going to be going live as much as possible. Tomorrow, I got my boy Ricky Starbreezy from Starbreezy Streams. He'll actually be hosting the show for me tomorrow. So we'll be going live around 3:34 tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. I'll have as much coverage as possible. But most importantly, turn your notifications on. If you're on YouTube, hit that notification on. You'll be able to see everything we get. Robbie says you ain't got to get upset at someone that, bruh, if you don't knock it off, don't even try to knock it off. Ain't nobody upset with you, man. But this is just one of them this is one of them feeds that we just very, like, most of the guys that do bloggers don't even read all their comments, man. So, man, knock it off, man. It's football season, man. Like, it is football season. It's a contact sport. That means if you in the comments, this is a contact comment box, man. Thank you for the support. But, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Don't come on now. This football season. We're a day away, man. They about to be hitting on each other. Jerlin says, I understand Zeke for his maximum payment, but he needs also let them work through negotiations as he trains. No, he doesn't. Would you go work for a company while they decided what they were going to pay you? Or do you decide what they're going to pay and then you go to work? Yeah, that's so see what that is, that's our fandom. Our fandom really wants Zeke on the field because we're thinking about our season. You know what I'm saying? Those are the same fans that were saying Zeke should have just took the 6-game suspension at the beginning. Why? Because then we could have still went to the playoffs. Yeah, but he was innocent, though. Why would Zeke take a 6-game suspension? Just take it, and he knows he's innocent. Yeah, it benefits your team, but does it benefit him, the person? No. Want to know why? Because them same people are using it against him now. Zeke can't stay out of trouble. But I thought he was innocent, though. I thought we all thought he was innocent. Like, what happened to them folks that was riding with me saying Zeke he's getting falsely accused and he's getting this and that? All them same people went to saying Zeke is a troublemaker as soon as it was time to pay him. Like, how you gonna believe that he didn't do it, but then throw it in his face and act like he did it when it's time to pay him? You can't do that, y'all. Yeah, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. Like, you can't do that. Like, it has to be one or another. If you're gonna ride with him, you gotta ride with him. You can't be saying, oh, I believe you're innocent, Zeke, because I want you to get back on the field so you can play, but then I believe you're guilty of it when it's time for me to pay you for that play. Like, that's a double standard if I ain't never seen one. And you know I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm talking about? But hey, man, somebody, who else we got up here? But that was Jerlene. I appreciate the comment, but we gotta before we look at these players, we gotta identify them as individuals. People, is that what a normal person would do? No, they would not. You wouldn't do that. You would not do that. Anthony says, it's a fact. If Zeke doesn't play, Dak can't do it by himself. Well, I mean, Dak and Zeke couldn't even do it by themselves. They was 3-5 without Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? They need each other. Like, what we need is the same team we had in that Rams game. That's why. We need that same game. Joe says, so why doesn't Dak hold out while they don't have his contract? Because they have different agents and Dak is playing it different. That's what I believe. I mean, you can't get on one guy for not wanting to do it and another guy for doing it. Like, they got different agents and they're going at it a different approach. That's what I believe. But I believe Zeke, I believe all three of them could hold out. Zeke could hold out, and I'm going to tell you why all three of them could hold out, because what would you do? What would Jerry Jones do if all three of them held out? Nothing. He would figure out a way to pay all three of them. Amari Cooper's waiting, though. He's not tripping right now. Amari Cooper's waiting on one of them other guys to get paid. Dak Prescott, I don't know. I really don't know what Dak's waiting on. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Dak's waiting on. But I know he has a different agent than Zeke, so I don't know. He says, Jerlene says, I'm already okay, I just read Jerry. He says, I think he's read it again. She says, I'm already being paid on the job, and so is Zeke. He just asked for a raise, so why shouldn't I know? But I'm gonna ask this question, Jerlene, because this is where everybody make a mistake at, and I'm gonna break this down for you guys. This is the problem. This is the problem with Zeke. I'll show you guys. The average running back rushes the ball around 280 times a year. Can you see that? 200. The average running back rushes the ball about 280 times a year. Right? Zeke rushes the ball about 320 to 330 a year. Let me see if I can get this up so y'all can at least see it. It's bright in a mug. So the average running back rushes the ball around 280 times a year. Zeke rushes the ball about 320 to 330 times a year. So let's just say that's a healthy 60 even more carries that Zeke gets every year that no other running back gets. Now, are you still tracking with me? The average running back rushes about 18 to 20 times a game. Can you see that? The average running back rushes about 18 to 20 times a game. Now, if an average running back rushes about 18 to 20 times per game, and Zeke is playing more carries, take that 20 and divide it by 6. You know what that is? That's 3. And guess what? I'm not even including the playoffs. That's 3 extra games. So in essence, Zeke is playing 19 season games and every other running back is playing 16. That's the problem. Imagine if you were working at your job and you were working harder and longer than everybody else in the building. Imagine that. Imagine if you hired you and your employee, you and somebody else got hired the exact same day, but you're working harder and longer than that other person. Would you feel that you deserved a raise before that other person, even if you were on a contract? You would. It's not about money. It's about his usage. And then I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that Zeke is going to let us do him the same way we did DeMarco Murray? We ran DeMarco Murray for 410 carries. He broke his hand, and we did not even sign him. So do y'all think Zeke is just dumb and he don't remember that because he wasn't on the Cowboys? You don't think his agent remembers that? Do you think his agent's going to not allow him to get in that same position? DeMarco Murray rushed for 1,100 yards in 2013, then came back the very next year and rushed for 1,800 yards on 400 attempts, and we didn't even give him a contract. We didn't even offer him a contract. Want to know why? Because everybody was saying we used him up. We ran him into the ground. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why would Zeke let somebody do that to him? Why? Why? Miss Jarlene, do you understand what I'm saying now? So in essence, yes, you are at your job and you are working, but guess what? When you look at your clock, they're working 8 hours a day. You're working like 12. Do you think that's fair? Do you guys think that's fair? And then your boss comes in and says, "But Jarlene, I've already paid you. It's not you're not available for a raise until the end of the year." But you're gonna be like, "Hell no!" But I'm working more. Like if you look at my hour day, they're working 8-hour days. I'm working 12. That means I'm working almost 2 extra days that they're not working. You guys get it? Kind of get it now? You see the issue now? Instead of us going against Zeke, why can't we just look at Jerry, who said he has the money, and just say, "Jerry, why don't you just pay him? Why don't he just pay him?" All right, so Jarlene says, "I agree. He should get more money, and now since this is a maximum time in his life next year, he will be deemed as less of a player than right now. I want him to get his pay. Just want him to see him just don't want to see him gamble. Yes, I do, and thank you." Hey, Mr. Jarlene, I appreciate your comment, because I know that if you felt that way, there are 50,000 other people that felt that way. The only difference is you had the courage to say it, so I salute you. Also, my boy Robbie, what was his name? Not my boy Robbie, but Robbie Lowe. Shoot, I appreciate you too. Disagreements turn some of the best friendships on the air. That's true. Disagreement, a misunderstanding turning some of the best conversations on the air. You know what I'm saying? But what the Dallas Cowboys need to understand is training camp is tomorrow. We do have guys who are on the field who are gonna participate and gonna play. But at the same time, like, I'm sorry. If I am a player on the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm doing? I am looking at how the Dallas Cowboys is using all these other players, and I'm saying, bruh, when it's my time, you better not do me like that. What's up with you, Miss Sonny Weber? How you doing? We was talking about your brother a couple minutes ago. Gotta. How you doing? I see you had your beautiful baby. So congratulations on the new child. Hey, let me know if you're coming out here to training camp. If you're coming out here to training camp, let me know. Love to get you on the show. Got Mike Weber's sister in the comment box. I appreciate you. But yeah, I want to ask you. I want to ask Weber's sister. I want to ask you. How would you feel if your brother was in this situation right now, and you knew that your brother carries the ball more times than anybody else in the league, and a team has the money to pay him? Like, how would I feel if this was my little brother? I'd be like, hold out, bruh. Why? Because you're working harder than everybody else. Like, that's not fair. Especially when Jerry Jones has already said he has the money. If I am a young player on this team, I'm watching. And I'm like, dang. You telling me Tony had to damn near hold out? You telling me Zach Martin had to hold out? You telling me D-Law had to hold out? You telling me Zeke had to hold out? God dang, you talking about Dez had to hold out? And they ain't even paid Dak yet. You know what that means? I'm watching the clock. And when my time comes, Jerry, I need to talk to you. Why? Because you're not going to do me like you did on them other players. Like, you ain't going to just run me into the ground. Like DeMarco Murray. Like, if anything, think about DeMarco Murray. He had the greatest season of his career. We ran him 400 carries. And you know what we did the very next year? We didn't even offer him a contract. We didn't even offer him a contract. Then I got some people that's be like, oh, we can just run Zeke for the next 2 years. Then we can franchise tag him and let him go. Like, you don't think he knows that? Like, honestly, that comment, that way of thinking is the exact reason why Zeke's doing what he's doing. The exact reason. Exact reason. Because Zeke doesn't want to get used up and thrown away. And then think about this. In 4 years, Zeke could be older. Like, he only, players don't get faster and stronger as they get older. The only people that know that do that is Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, them dudes. Jerry Maguire, them dudes. They got that, they got that weird gene. They get older, they get stronger, faster. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Thank you. You know what? On that right there, I'm about to read Miss Weber's, and her brother is on the team, making this team right now. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna make sure I get you some good footage. If you're not able to come, don't trip. I'm gonna try to get as close as possible and get you some footage. But I'm gonna end it with her comment right here, and I need everybody to go like this comment because this is someone who is related to a player on the team, so she can empathize with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? She can empathize with what's going on. So I want to read her statement. She says, I'd be pissed, honestly. Just give the man his money. They have the money, so why right now? Exactly. Like, Jerry Jones and the organizations are the ones that's making you feel this way. I'm pretty sure Zeke's in shape right now, ready to go. And then you have 2 situations in the last 3 months where they said they were going to pay him. So now I'm really not going to come up. Why? Because you already said you were going to pay me. And then, oh yeah, don't forget about, since we're talking about how we did people dirty, let's not forget about Allen Hurns. You know what I'm saying? We just, came to him Monday night at 7 o'clock at night before he about to go home. Hey man, we need you to take a pay cut. And I know Allen Hurns' pay cut was under $3 million. You want to know why? Because he just signed for $3 million. So I think the Dallas Cowboys came to Allen Hurns with probably like $1.5 million. He was like, hell no. No way I'm about to short myself like that. And Allen Hurns said, I'm cool. So yeah, you have a history of, it's just like it's like a woman being with a man and you consistently see this man not take care of his kids, cheat on his ex-girlfriend, don't go to work, he don't do nothing. And you're looking at this man and thinking, but maybe I can get with him and change him. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, he can't. He is who he is. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. What's up with Jamez? I see you sliding in there. What up with you, Dennis Bird? I see you sliding in there. Robbie Lowe, I appreciate you for tuning in. Brian Jordan, what's up with your man? Hey, Brian, you already know we're going to be. I'm going to see you week 1 where we always be in the corner of the end zone. Not the corner of the end zone, but you know our spot. You know where we be. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell nobody because they're going to flood it, but you know where we going to be. All right, what up with you, Craig? Rob Lowe, I appreciate you. He says that's the political side that everyone hates. You absolutely right. So just pay the man. Like, it don't have to be political. You could just pay him. Like, it would be different if we did not have the money. Like, I would probably feel different about this if we did not have money. But we still have the money. So what is the holdup? Jerry, you either just don't want to do it or you're just not doing it because you have the ability to do it. All right? Shawnee says, I'm sure he's ready, but I'm not about to show up and put all into it if you're not going to give me my money after you said you would give it to me. Thank you. Thank you. That makes no sense. And then you got to think like this, man. They have agents. You know what I'm saying? And these agents aren't going to let his athlete do that. Like, how does that, like, I remember when I had Roy Williams on the show on Monday. Roy Williams said, man, we want contracts. Players really want contracts that shows that they're respected and appreciated. Like, how does that show that you're being respected and appreciated? And then think about this. If you're Zeke, you're probably thinking like, bro, you're not even doing Dak right. Like, if I'm Zeke, I'm like, bro, you're not even doing the homie right. And I know y'all love Zeke. I mean, I know y'all love Dak. Like, Dak ain't got no off-the-field issues. He ain't got into it with nobody as a nobody. So why haven't you paid him? I want to know. Because Dak is the American boy. Why hasn't he gotten paid? So maybe it's not the players. That's all I'm asking. But hey, I know this. We'll find out tomorrow at training camp. You guys already know what it is. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in. I'll be live at training camp, trying to get as much information as possible. Trying to get as much interviews as possible. We're just gonna be talking. I'm trying to do as much information as possible tomorrow. Remember, you guys, training camp this year, 2019, every single video, every single blog post, every single thing will be sponsored by my friends over at Cowboy Experience. So let's talk to them real quick. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off. But this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. 2019 Dallas Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Hey, you guys already know what it is. Never look down because the stars are up. Peace.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
They say